My name is Steve Moulter. We are coming to you live from the middle of the hub here at Cisco Live 2019 in Barcelona. Another phenomenal innovation showcase. And I kind of want to riff on this a little bit, discuss what we heard about in the customer experience. To do that, I'm going to just turn to my left. There's my buddy Nish Parker.
Hi,
How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you.
It's the first time that we've been together in the studio.
Today. We were there yesterday.
Well, I know yesterday, but that was so fun.
That was another day.
It feels like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Like you look at how much was covered here just since about 9 o'clock this morning when we kicked this whole thing off, holding cups of coffee, and it feels like a million years ago.
It does. We've covered so much today.
We have. Let's talk customer experience just a little bit. Tell me what you have been seeing here at the event regarding customer experience. We'll talk a little bit about conversations we've had, not just in the Innovation Showcase, but also up here.
Yeah, so we've just had Alastair from our CX organization in EMEA. He's just been at the Innovation Showcase. Super interesting. One of the things that I always hear my customers talking about is how can Cisco support me and help me further? And it's great that we have all these innovative products and solutions. So CX is essentially what customers may remember as our two separate services organizations. So we used to have technical services, things like SmartNEC and TAC, which we of course still have today. And then we'd have advanced services, which is sometimes more niche services in which customers can use things like design, validation, and support and implementation services as well, and of course business critical. So the CX organization is about bringing those two together and essentially delivering the ultimate customer experience, exactly what the name says.
Exactly what the name says. And these customer experience centers are set up everywhere. It's not quite what we're seeing here at the show, but the idea of being able to reach out to the customer to say, we are here for you. What problem are you trying to solve? Cisco is here to partner up with you in that particular arena, get you to that next step and advance not only your digital transformation, but really advance you within the marketplace to be able to get that market share that you are going after. We had a great conversation. It was a short one. Phil and Mario were here right before that innovation showcase kicked in, and what they were really talking about is the demand within different organizations, right? So I asked them, I said, where did this really come to light? How did we know that we needed to make more out of our customer experience? Healthcare was one of those big areas where the need from the marketplace seemed to drive how we were responding here at Cisco. You know, when you pull it up even on the website and you look at something, I'm just going to read this. This is straight off the website. Truth in advertising. Organizations that deliver great customer experiences will realize positive business impacts on customer loyalty, operational efficiency, and growth. That kind of lays it out flat, right?
Absolutely, and it's similar in media as well. We have so many different use cases which I use with a variety of different services that Cisco offers. So just to give an example of one is, for example, in an outside broadcast truck where these trucks drive around the country and they're filming all these different sports matches, different entertainment. It's your world, Steve. It's all about theater and showbiz, the glamorous world of showbiz. And some of the services that we offer, so for example, things like validating designs, helping to put the customer at ease, doing network analysis to see how the network is performing and really helping to optimize that. So customer experience, some of the services that we offer, it's really about getting the most out of the Cisco solutions.
It's really true, and you know what, listening. We talk about this over and over again. We learn the most and we create the most and we succeed the most when we just sit back and listen. What do you need? What can we do for you to help bridge that gap? I also feel when you walk around the world of solutions, we've got over 120 of our partners in there. That's where those partnerships come from as well. The customer experience is what drives those new partnerships. And not only that, even the long-term existing partnerships, right? So if you take those companies that we have built so much with over the years, we hear the demands from the customer, what is their realistic experience in the field, what do they need to accomplish, and how do we take the next steps with those partners to build what the market demands?
Absolutely, I think customer experience and the services that we offer on top of the products and solutions that we have is really just a great match and greatly married together.
Absolutely.
So we're going to throw back to Rob now, who's in the world of solutions. I was just going to be speaking to Alastair, who's just come out of the innovation talk.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, we just fresh off the show floor. Alastair Waldman joins me. I keep trying to shorten your name, but Wildman.
Wildman, yeah. Alastair
that is
Wildman.
Fantastic.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for giving me some time today on this wonderful Cisco TV show.
Well, it's my pleasure, because so we're going out to a huge international global audience. I mean, tens of 20 or maybe 21 people all watching live right now. I'm not just kidding. It's a lot going out also on the show floor as well. Before we go too far, I know you had recommended people go over to the booth to be able to ask questions about more. We're going to cover some details here, but first give me your title and what you're responsible for, and a little bit about yourself in terms, because you're new to Cisco. I want to make sure everybody gets to know you better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name's Alastair Wildman, and I run the customer experience team across EMEA. We're a new organization. We've actually been around for about 9 months, and I'll come back to that in a second, but my background, I've been in software for about 20 years. I was at Microsoft Microsoft and Salesforce and VMware, and now I'm at Cisco, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's just an incredible time to be in the customer experience team. But the question I know you're asking is, what is customer experience? Because everybody asks me the same question. Is it a philosophy? Is it a portfolio? Is it a team? And the answer is, it's actually all those. So we've taken all our post-sales organizations, which is about 27,000 people globally, and we've put them all into one single team with the customer at the center of everything we do. So we've got our amazing support services team, we've got our ninja, professional services teams, we've got that amazing asset, our managed service teams, along with our renewals teams, our customer success teams, and our platforms teams as well. And they've all come together into one organization with a view that we want to make sure that the post-sales experience that our customers have with Cisco is just amazing. We want customers to go from choosing to using to loving Cisco. And it's coming together. I mean, we're about 8 months old. I work for Maria Martinez, who's our wonderful leader, and we're doing things that are different, and we're part of this disruptive change that Cisco is completely disrupting itself. If you think about where we've gone as a company, we've moved very quickly to recurring revenue, software and cloud, and the customer lifecycle are imperative. And we're the organization that catches the customer lifecycle, and then we help our customers see value from the investments they've made.
So hopefully this is not too early to ask you a question like this, but I'm kind of curious, what kind of examples would you cite as changes that we are either have already made or starting to make, or things we're doing as we partner with customers differently to be able to change the experience? I mean, I think we've always prided ourselves on certain types of support, but I'd say it's more on the technical support side. So we really do need to contrast, as you say, the way in which we're focused on solutions and the way it's not about, oh, the PO's done, we're out of here. This is about a relationship, it sounds like, as well.
Yeah, so I think the first point I should make, and I've had this firsthand from customers, that Cisco is absolutely got this incredible reputation for going above and beyond with customers. We do things that other companies just would never dream of doing. If something goes wrong, if a customer is in trouble, we absolutely throw the A team in there, and they get an incredible response from us. But it was a little bit fragmented. When we had 6 different teams that were all kind of working together but not fully aligned, we actually found there was little cracks in between the organization. What we've done by bringing everybody into one team and making every single member of the customer experience team part of this transformation is that we've just centered everybody around the customer, not around the P&L or the margin, just around that customer. And we're seeing some incredible results already. We're seeing the relationship with customers in areas that we never had a conversation before. We're seeing customers who now are starting to measure the value for that investment with Cisco. And what it will lead to, and what we're seeing, is that we can open doors in areas that, quite frankly, would probably been closed to us, but we augment the incredible work the sales organization are doing, and we continue that customer journey. Have you seen our figure of 8, the racetrack? It's a slide that I had up there. I know I can't do slides here, but the idea is that you've got your post-sales and
finger puppets we got, yeah.
It's the figure of 8. We want to make sure that we can help our customers move around the racetrack till they get to the renewal, which is a binary event for us. If we've done our job, the customers deployed that technology, they've seen the value, they will renew that technology, and we're a renewals business. Yeah. And we've got a massive book of renewals there.
Am I right in summarizing to a certain extent by saying we've always been really good at the dive and catch and kind of throwing resources at something no matter what the expense, unfortunately, but really taking a look and saying, wait, how do we move that element much further into the process, all the way to the point of not just being proactive, but actually changing how we develop products and software with that end goal of customer satisfaction in mind?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at our CAP process, it's amazing. I mean, we shouldn't have it, but we do have it, and it works. But that's really about throwing people and being reactive after an issue. What we're doing now is being proactive. I mean, I've just been talking about the business critical services on stage there. This is a $2 billion portfolio for us inside Cisco. It's the fastest growing service product we've ever launched. 3,000 customers. And what they do is they have a pool of resources with analytics and machine learning to allow them to look at their technology investments, their network and the data center in collaboration, and proactively solve problems before it even hits the customer. I mean, that's just one example of being part of customer experience team. And then we've got our wonderful customer success teams who are out there in the ground, who are talking to customers and saying, okay, how can we help you get more value from that deployment? How can we help you go faster? How can we help you, with the most important thing that customers want is time. They just don't have enough time, and we can provide people, we can help with complexity, and we can help with the skills gap to help the customers get to where they're going to.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I know, so obviously you guys are in the world of solutions. Actually, you're in the Cisco showcase area, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a shame we can't walk over there now, but if you go just behind the theatre here, there's this great business critical services group there, and we've got about 100 ninjas on there who are today working with customers, who are helping them find solutions and helping to explain a little bit more about what we do. Those guys are the glue. Those guys do all the hard work. I get the easy job. I just stand on stage talking with people like you. Yeah. But those are the guys that are doing all the work in this show. They're brilliant, amazing people.
Well, I tell you what, having just met you, if you're half as good at leadership and implementation as you are at speaking to what you do, I think we're going to be in fantastic shape. I love the energy, and I like the idea that we're going places and we're making changes that I think assure that all of us have a good place in kind of planning and building the future as we move forward, making it better for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we are going places, but we've got the support of the whole company behind us. I sit down with Wendy, who's my sales colleague, and we plan customer experience together. And we can feel the movement, we can feel what's happening in the marketplace. This is a really exciting time to be in Cisco. We're doing some great things in customer experience, but watch this space, we're just starting. This is a multi-year program, maybe 4 or 5 years, and we're probably never going to finish. It will just keep evolving and evolving.
All right. Hey, Alastair.
All the best. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I see now that Wildband is not actually just a name. Hey, guys, if you didn't get a little bit of energy off of that, then something's wrong with you. Customer service, the customer experience, everything that we're doing here, it's changing rapidly, and boy, people like that are leading the way. So we'll go back to you in the studio.
Man, Rob, you could not have put it any better. I was listening to Alastair talk there, and that is what you want. You want that kind of advocate, that sort of guru with incredible dynamic energy, somebody who really brings the story to life. This is all about storytelling. This is how we get people on board with these fantastic new ideas that Cisco is developing. So Alastair, keep up that great work, and we're going to keep listening to all the stories you have to tell us. Everywhere we go, we see great examples of how Cisco is building bridges wherever we go. I want to introduce a video here from National Instruments. National Instruments worked along with Cisco to help deliver a lot more bandwidth to their offices all over the world and control spend and increase their speed and flexibility. It's such a good example of how we are helping companies all over the world move off their legacy networks and really increase their agility, listen to me, agility and response times. I got to slow down, take it all in. Alastair got me all worked up. I want to give myself a minute over here. You guys enjoy the video. I'll see you about a minute and a half from now.
National Instruments had a predicament. Bandwidth demands were on the increase. And while growth is good, their IT budget wasn't keeping pace. Not so good. IT needed to deliver more bandwidth to offices around the world while keeping spending under control. That's not so easy. Suddenly, the company that helps engineers accelerate innovation found themselves needing help. Oh, and it needs to be fast, flexible, affordable, and secure too. A tall order, but by no means an impossible one. Not with the decision to turn to us, the people who invented the network in the first place. Using a Cisco SD-WAN solution in Cisco services, we massively increased their bandwidth. Where their budget held them back, we propelled them forward. Now, most companies would be delighted right there, but we went further. Network deployments are faster than ever. And where their old network generated problem tickets faster than anyone could count, the number of WAN-related tickets has decreased 70% in the past year. All of this to prove that between those frozen processes of yours and free-flowing productivity, there's a bridge. Tell us what you're imagining, and we will build the bridge to get you there.
What a fantastic video. Congratulations to National Instruments. That is exactly what that partnership and that Cisco experience is all about. That sums it up so beautifully. We're going to discuss the future of IT operations over the next couple of minutes. I got a great couple of guests back in the studio with me. I'm going to start on this side with Antonio Grasso, founder and CEO, Digital Business Innovation. So glad to have you in with us.
Nice, thank you for having me.
And Phil, you're back, and you're here to be a part of it, to help shore up the conversation. I don't need to introduce you again. Everybody knows exactly who you are. Gentlemen, so glad to have you with us to continue everything that we've been building on over the last hour or so and through that terrific innovation showcase. So let's start, Antonio, by talking about the role that AI is playing today within enterprise IT departments, specifically within operations, but we can even go beyond that.
Steve, thank you for the question. You know, we are living in a fascinating world where emerging technology are changing the way we live. And artificial intelligence is one of these emerging technologies that is changing our world. You know, we have machine learning that can automate a lot of things. We live in a world where healthcare can benefit from artificial intelligence, for diagnostic. So the medic will become a better medic using AI, artificial intelligence. But not only in the healthcare, we have also in the business model of the enterprises that conduct, IT operation, how we can analyze data from IT operation. It's unthinkable to do it manually right now. So I think that is very important to do automation with artificial intelligence to analyze data from IT operation. But how we can do this analysis?
How do we make it realistic,
data?
right?
How we can make realistic, because we have a lot of data. We have Internet of Things that generating data. Because ourselves, we're generating a lot of data while we're just walking. Steve, when we walk, we generate with our GPS, with our mobile phone, a lot of information. This information needs to be collected and then need to be elaborated. So I think that is really unthinkable to do it without training a deep learning algorithms that can learn, from data. Learning from data means learning from experience, So I think it's really important that we do not also use our internal data, because in our company we have internal data, but also we can rely on external data.
Yes.
From which source? We need a trusted source, So I think that Cisco is one of the most trusted tools that can help enterprise to enrich, the training data, to let the deep learning algorithm to be more expert. Let me to say expert, so more data.
Absolutely. So Phil, let me bring you in on this. Let's talk about some use cases where we are seeing everything that Antonio is talking about really coming to fruition. We're seeing it come to life.
Absolutely. And it's one of the areas, probably the principal area, that we've focused all of our innovation time and dollars on in the last few years. And for those who've just caught Alastair Wildman's presentation on business critical services, that's kind of at the forefront of where that AI initiative is really, that's where the rubber hits the road for us. So how we use data empowerment, enrichment of our services that help customers run and operate their solutions at every stage around that life cycle. We have recommendations being made which will prevent problems before they happen. We can identify the top 3 devices in a network that are likely to have an outage before it happens. We are enriching our TAC operation to problem solve faster by bringing customer data in at the right point of the life cycle and their workflow. So at all points across all our support and professional services, we're using both internal and external data, to your point. We're using telemetry from our devices and the customer's own data from what we know about them operating their solution, combining them, presenting them, putting them through algorithms, coming up with real insights so they can actually action.
It's so exciting. Antonio, let me ask you, I want to go to the CIO in particular, as far as their focus goes, right? IT teams, they have to have the AI skills that you were talking about a moment ago, but also everything else, data science, cybersecurity, DevOps. How does the CIO maintain control and deliver that to their team?
This is the challenge, Steve. The role of a CIO is changing, is really shifting from a simple, plug man that plug inside network to a more, expert that need, also good scale. But let me to say that digital transformation is not only technology. We are living this epochal change in our world where digital transformation is the technology in digital transformation is only one component of the puzzle. We have also the mindset, we have the culture, so we have people. And when we are talking about people, we talk about talent, we talk about digital skills, So I think the company need to invest also in the skills to let them to grow and to shift the mindset following the epochal shift in our society.
But how do we convince people to do it, Phil?
So, two stats for you, Steve.
Okay, give them to me.
69% of IT leaders believe they will not be successful with their digital transformation because they don't have the right skills in their company. That's quite shocking. A more shocking one for me is actually a Frost & Sullivan survey, which shares that by 2020, there will be 1.5 million unfilled vacancies just for cybersecurity alone. And as a professional hirer of talent, I can tell you that cybersecurity isn't even my most scarce skill set. So those things combined, there's a tipping point with talent right now. So if I were a CIO, and by the way, just a call out, we're trying to understand the challenges around IT management better so we can help solve their problems more. So for those in IT management, if you could go along to the CX booth in the World of Solutions, there's a spot there where you can take the IT operations readiness assessment. It takes 30 seconds. It will help us collect data so we can understand those challenges better. So,
interesting.
So we've reached that tipping point in talent. My advice is, don't even try, because by the time you've hired those skills or grown them, you'll need something else.
Of course.
Right? So stay ahead of the curve, because if you're a customer and you don't have it, well, we do. That's the business we're in customer experience. So my role in making that talent available is actually to make it easy for customers to consume through portfolio offerings, through commercial mechanisms. We have the talent, so you don't need to hire it. That's the bottom line.
That's really interesting. So Antonio, let me ask you: this is a global concern? This is not a local concern. This is not a company concern. This is a global concern about how we bring the talent that we're going to need in as we continue to advance the nature of AI technology and use it to serve the customer better. Getting those people into our organizations and keeping them put and keeping them happy, this is something we're going to be having to look at all over the world, yes?
Yeah, I think we can have a good solution that is to let the resource grow inside. So, but let me to say that when you have a system level structuring of the entire society, like we are doing now, it's really this is really an issue, It's like the cybersecurity issue, the shortage of good skill, good people, but it's really an issue. I really don't know how we can solve. We need to address our talent, our young people to choose the correct path, to serve our society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do we inspire from this point moving forward, Phil? How do we reach out to people? We listened to what Alastair said just a couple of moments ago. Yeah. His whole idea is get out, do it, make it happen. How do we reach out to the marketplace and get them to take part in what we're trying to accomplish here at Cisco, make them partners with us?
It's a great question. We need to tell the story better, Steve, is my answer. It is an inspirational story, and I think with the talent question, it's a bit of a supply chain challenge, actually. We're not reaching down far enough to inspire our young people to come into IT and make that their career. As the father of teenage children, the conversation I have is kind of, yes, you want to change the world, but IT is changing the world. So don't think about IT as, nerds with skin problems who work in the dark.
That's so antique, right?
I know, exactly. So think about it as a group of world changers, because going back to the AI question, that is what the world is going to be driven by shortly. So IT for me is changing the world, and we need to tell that story way better than we do.
Antonio, do you agree with that? Anything you want to add on top of that?
Yes, I agree with that, and let me to say that I'm personally committed on try to grow young people in developing countries, because they really need to know how our world is changing, So I have many channels on Facebook and Instagram, for young people, try to address them to choose the correct path to avoid, this skill shortage that we can face in in future or we are facing also in the present. I completely agree with you, Paul, yes.
You know, we always talk about the interconnectivity of everything going on across the depth and the breadth of Cisco's service offerings, solutions offerings. This also goes to corporate social responsibility. We are, with our customer experience initiatives, we are trying to bring along the next generation of disruptors to the market. The people who are not just going to build the market, but who are going to create the challenges that are going to drive us to where it is that we need to be.
Absolutely.
Are there any other areas within Cisco where you get the sense that we have an opportunity to contribute to the CX capability?
Oh, absolutely. So the Cisco Academies, are global CSR, world-changing initiative.
We're touching so many lives.
I mean, millions, and we've been going for years.
Yeah.
We're the best in the industry, and that is such a compelling story. Probably haven't got time to tell the whole story right now.
We're actually doing full segments on what's going on with Net Academy.
Okay. So absolutely, that vehicle has the power to inspire young people to do what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I think we need to tell a better CX story, if we make it specific to that, within the Cisco Academies, to switch people on to the uniquenesses of what we're doing in the company. But absolutely, that's the vehicle.
It's fantastic. Gentlemen, it has been such a pleasure. What a nice way to end the day. Antonio, Phil, I really appreciate it. And this puts such a great button on the Cisco service experience and the way that we reach out and connect directly with our customers. So thank you, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the week. And again, we've been so glad to have you with us all the way along throughout the day. Do not go away yet. We are going to move directly from here into our daily wrap show. We always try to get everyone together, all four of us as hosts at the end of the day, to discuss what it is that's been going on throughout the day and what we can look forward to tomorrow as well. This is the way we can bring the behind the scenes, all of that deep dive information to all of you who are kind enough to tune in throughout the day, today, yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow as well, all the way up through our closing keynote with Mr. Brilliant, Mr. Larry Brilliant, and hopefully you are learning more about that as well. Remember to keep reaching out to us on social media using hashtag CLEUR. I promise we are reading your tweets. Hopefully we are posting back to you very rapidly. As long as you include that hashtag, we will know exactly where to find you, but don't stop. Continue to watch this broadcast on YouTube, watch on Facebook, but we would love for you to watch on CiscoLive.com, where you can use all of the other capabilities available to you as well. Thanks to all of you. We're going to see you in just a moment. Don't go away. The broadcast continues very shortly.